Well, I think we all saw this one coming. After the extreme backlash the YouTube channel Watcher received over the last 72 hours, they've made the quick decision to completely take back everything they said about quitting YouTube, and we need to talk about it. It's a mess, so let's get into it. It's only fair to start off this video with one of the best comments that I've ever read, which says, "If I had a nickel for every time I saw 3 ex-BuzzFeed employees on a couch post-controversy, I'd have 2 nickels." And we are truly playing spot the differences right now because this is giving Try Guys post-Ned. I'm sure these last few days have been absolute hell for them, and some people are saying that they would have paid to see their reaction. One comment said, "I'd pay $5.99 to be a fly on the wall at the Watcher office these last 72 hours. And you can bet they were probably in like Try Guys level crisis mode because the reaction they received was so overwhelmingly not in their favor, and I honestly can't believe they didn't see this coming. I also didn't think they had any plans on reversing their decision because not only was it probably expensive to have someone plan their streaming service and put the whole website together, but they also addressed things on their Patreon, and it sounded like they were sticking to their decision even after the backlash. Just the other day, they made a community post which said, "Watcher streamer upcoming slate. Because we don't want anyone to feel like they're making a blind decision, here's a Patreon exclusive look into what will be happening over," and then it cuts off and there's no way I'm paying them $6.99 to read the rest. Yesterday, they posted their retraction video simply titled An Update, where they took back pretty much everything they said in their quitting video.
"We messed up. A lot of you spoke out with extremely valid comments and concerns, and we want to take the time now to address those.
We've been reading the things you've been saying, and we're sorry for the way we handled this, as well as the way we communicated it. We understand where you're coming from, and we're making immediate changes. You've supported us in so many ways by watching our content, attending our live shows, buying our merch, becoming members of our Patreon."
They then apologized for how their delivery was. They called it insensitive and acknowledged that $5.99 a month isn't always accessible to everyone.
"We're sorry for how we originally delivered our goodbye message to YouTube. It was insensitive.
We also want to deeply apologize for our ignorance around the impact of the cost. We regret stating and implying that it's a price that anybody can afford, and we fully acknowledge that it is not. We didn't take the proper consideration for how this cost would affect you, and hope you know that we are taking this as a serious learning experience."
So here's what's going to happen going forward. They're no longer quitting YouTube, but they're also not going to get rid of their streaming platform. Apparently, a lot of fans have already signed up for it, so instead, they'll be dropping episodes on the streaming service a month early, and then later posting them to their channel.
If you want to watch our shows early and ad-free, you can catch them on the Watcher platform a month earlier. After that, you'll be able to watch our shows on YouTube for free.
They also talk more about their decision behind leaving initially. Apparently, they were having a hard time appealing to advertisers, so instead of being reliant on what kind of ads their channel would get, they wanted to be more subscription-based without having to lay anyone off.
We were finding it harder and harder to stay relevant to advertisers and the constantly changing YouTube landscape. And we definitely did not want to lay people off that have brought Watcher to life behind the scenes. And we didn't want to bring Watcher to a close, which would have happened if we stayed solely on YouTube.
Another big topic of conversation over the weekend was Watcher's Patreon. People started to connect the dots and realized they were making very good money over on their Patreon, which also means everyone who wants to pay for their content was already paying. It made a lot of their loyal fans who do pay them feel like their support wasn't good enough, so they addressed that as well.
We also want to directly address our Patreon community, who have played such a key role in supporting us from the very beginning. All current Patreon members will receive a free subscription code to the platform. If you already purchased a subscription, please contact us and we will issue you a full refund.
We are forever grateful to all of the people who make up our community, and we hope that you consider joining us in this next chapter of our journey, whether that's on YouTube or on the platform.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Overall, walking their decision back was the right thing to do, but a lot of people still feel a little bit uneasy about supporting them going forward. One person said, "While the apology is well warranted and welcomed, I think this channel's reputation has been irreversibly damaged. No changing that." And I understand that reaction, but I also think it does take a lot to come online and completely reverse a decision that you seem so set on. It was nice to see an apology and some acknowledgement of how it made their fans feel, even if it did take the media picking up on it and people declaring that their careers were over. One thing that people are still confused about is them saying they initially wanted to do a streaming service because they weren't appealing to advertisers. Normally, that BuzzFeed-esque type of content does very well on YouTube, so fans were confused over that statement, with one person writing, "Not them talking about struggling against the algorithm as if they aren't making the most run-of-the-mill general population-pleasing content. Please, give us a break." A lot of people are also saying that if they're struggling when it comes to their finances with their channel, then maybe they need to take a step back and rethink the content. We talked about this a bit in my previous video, but it's not like they're struggling for views. A lot of their videos, if not most of their videos, get over 1 million views each, with multiple ads running on each video, and not to mention you have their sponsorships and then their Patreon. Fans are telling them that maybe they need to stop doing some of the more extravagant type of content and put that money to better use. One person said, "Honestly, if they just got rid of Worth It with Steven eating gold abroad, that would probably fix their finances. We don't want to watch that." And I really hope they read and actually take on board some of the suggestions that their fans are making, because it really seems like they don't want the overproduced content. A lot of people were saying that they loved it when things were more simple, and while I can understand that their dream is to produce television quality content, maybe they can dial it back to doing one big video every month and then more laid back content throughout the weeks. If anything, they should feel lucky that their fans love their personality over the quality and actually want low budget content. The fact that they could be making probably the same amount of views with lower effort and a lower cost to them should be a bonus to them. Not a lot of content creators are lucky enough to have that strong of a fan base that genuinely just loves them and rather see their personalities over the editing. Overall, it does seem like they realize how big of a mistake they made with this decision. One person said, "Shane looks more nervous in this video than he's ever looked in the Ghost Files video." And it's true, you can tell that they've had a rough few days, and you can tell Shane and Ryan felt really bad. I'm not really a watcher of Watcher, so maybe this is just Steven's personality, but his reaction definitely felt more PR and put together. It felt like he was reading from a script, and it was definitely giving "I'm a CEO" kind of statement, whereas Shane and Ryan seem more emotional about things. The one comment I saw that summed up this whole situation perfectly was, "They actually listened, and I am so grateful for it. This model is more sustainable and accessible for the people. Damage has been done, but accountability was taken." I think some fans are going to struggle with supporting them in the same way that they did before their quitting video, but overall, it is good that they took in the criticism, apologized, and then decided to take back their decision. Hopefully they can make things right with their fans and eventually win back the ones that they lost, because this was definitely a decision that should have never been made in the first place. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.